think as you see the depth chart, we're going to release one after the press conference here. I know that's the most important thing to you guys. We got 5 quarterbacks repping. There is no timetable, but you can't rep 5 guys. So we've got to whittle it down very quickly on the guys that can make explosive plays for us and take care of the football. And that's the bottom line. Who can direct our offense and move the ball down the field and score? So we got those 5 guys repping. They're all listed as or, because we're going to move guys around. We're really going to try and rep a lot of what we call 2-spot drills, where a lot of things are going on and guys are getting turns and reps. And there'll be an offense going versus a defense on one field and an offense going versus a defense with the same script. And we'll be rotating those quarterbacks to get them as many reps as possible. So we got to find one of those guys, 2 of those guys, or 3 of those guys as quickly as possible to move forward with. And I'd love to name a starter after spring, but if we're not ready to do that, we're going to take it through to fall camp. So we'll make those decisions. But those guys understands how critical the reps are for them every time they're out. At running back, Dave.
Right.
Over the first week practices, since it will be the first time with the ball, are you more interested in kind of going through some of your objectives, or more kind of setting the tone of what you want from your football team?
Well, I think we've been really clear about setting the expectation of what we see every day at practice and what we want out of a football team. So each day we'll have the point of emphasis of installation, offensively and defensively. We're on the same page about what we want to do, what we're going to do on special teams. And so with that, our players understand the expectation of what we need to get done.
Back here.
You kind of elaborated on it, but what would you say is the biggest emphasis for your football team in these next couple of weeks?
Well, I think, the biggest thing in the all-season program we emphasized was ETD, effort, toughness, and discipline. And displaying that every single day on a consistent basis. And I think that now, going into spring, physicality's got to be our edge. And I think that in our league, I've been a part of this league a long time, it's a line of scrimmage league. You got a chance if you're good on both sides of the ball up front. It gives you a chance, just a chance. But you got to be able to block them and when you need to run it, and tighten the red zone late in the game. You got to be able to gain first downs, and you got to be able to stop the run defensively. And you got to practice that way. A lot of coaches talk about tough. We're going to be tough. We're going to be physical, but you have to practice that way in order to be able to do it, and that's what we're going to do.
Thank you.
Will, what would you say about McElwain's work ethic and competitive edge from what you've seen of it?
I think it's been really good. He's done exactly what my expectations were for him, to come in here and work extremely hard, and he's done that. So I've been very pleased.
And as far as the returning quarterbacks, Will, from point of work ethic and your film study, is it a little better, a little worse than you thought, viewing it from afar?
Well, again, I think it's hard for me to sit there and judge anyone off a situation where I wasn't involved in. But at the end of the day, I've been pleased with those guys' work ethic and their approach to being the quarterback at South Carolina. There's no lack of want to out of any of the 5, but they all want to be a part of that conversation. So that's exciting to see. We'll see how they do manage it when the game starts and the bull starts flying.
Well, how does this spring feel for you? Does it feel any different than maybe some of your springs leading Florida and some others that you had in the game?
I think that every spring ball, I really enjoy spring ball because that's true coaching and teaching, and you're not, obviously I love the arena on game day, but you're able to really, see a guy develop from practice 1 to practice 15, and really see him grow and develop, and don't have the pressure of having to get ready for a game and those sort of things right now, which is good for us. So, I think every spring presents its challenges. We certainly have several in front of us here, but we look forward to the opportunities we have set in front of us.
Go back.
Coach, how nice is it to have 5 quarterbacks that you can kind of choose from right now, especially coming away from a Florida program where you've dealt with so many injuries at the same position?
Well, if you got 5, it means you don't have 1. So I don't know. You can look at it however you want to look at it. The glass is either half full or half empty, I guess you could say. But no, I think we have some guys that are capable to do a good job. And they'll certainly going to get a lot of opportunities. We're going to get a lot of snaps for them. And I've tried to structure practice in a certain way that they're going to get a bunch of snaps.